Hello everyone. In the last video, I said that we will be doing low approach, low pincer starting from this video, but I realized that there is actually one more sequence that we could go through that derives from a low approach, low extension, which is when Y does the sort of extra large knights move away. This is also very common in games. And if black just leaves this alone, it would seem like it's too efficient for white. So eventually, when the timing is right, black can actually come in and do something about white's weakness here. At this point, black usually has two approaches. One is to come in the middle like that, and the other one is to attach to the high stone here. However, before black comes in, black needs to realize that it would be a better sequence for him if a ladder situation works out for black on the right side on the edge here. And I'll show you the sequence to show you how the ladder works. So a very typical sequence will be when black comes in here. The purpose is to divide the two white groups. And if white really wants to connect, this will be the move to play. Otherwise, if white just plays here, it will seem like it's too good for black because this was supposed to be white's influence, and now black just takes over. So normally white would have to enter and try to connect the two groups. And then at this point, black has two moves. Black can either do a wedge here, which is the most common one, or black can also extend, but this is not very recommendable for black. Sometimes you see players do this, but this is not good. The fight is good for white, so this is not recommended. So usually black will play here. And now the most common respawn for white is to hane from the bottom. Another possible respawn white could do is to hane from the top, but let's just start from the most common one. So when white hanes from the bottom, black extends, and then white will atari, and then at this point, black atari, white takes, and as you can see, the ladder situation is coming up. But at this point, before trying to capture white in the ladder, black should atari here first, and then capture white. This exchange is important, and it's much better than if black just takes the stone and then let white come out in the future like that. So black should do this and then capture white like that, and this will be the end of the Joseki sequence. Another thing white could do is white can also when black does this, white can also fight back with atari here, and then at this point black will take, and then oftentimes white would come into the corner like this, and black will most likely have to fill and then let white connect back, and this becomes an exchange between the blacks outside, and so this the territory used to be blacks, but now it's whites, but black is the outside influence, so this becomes an exchange. Black can also do this. This is more efficient, and white will also connect. But the problem here is that eventually, when white could come back and start something, and then this becomes a call that black will have to fight. So if black feels like just to take things simple, then black should just block. Or if, for example, if black has stones on the right side, then it would make sense to block and make this play solid. So that's one variation. So it means that white can actually play under whether or not the ladder works for black or white. But black should probably only play in like this if the ladder situation works for black. So for this is what the program told me, but there are other situations in pro fightings where black plays this way, even though the ladder doesn't work for him. And the most recent one that I saw was between Lee Se-do and Park Jang-won's fight in the In Cup semifinals. But I will go through that at the end of this video. Anyway, so this is the most common sequence and white feels like that. If white hand is from the top, then black connect, and now white has a choice of either going back like this, which is most normal, or coming down like this. And it will, for example, if white has stones on the right, if white has stones on the right side, then it will make sense for white to come down like this and try to build influence on the right side. So now black will Atari and then connect, and now white should connect because as things are, black should actually take another move here. So this is actually a sente move to make himself strong and to build the outside influence, and to cover the cutting point here. If black doesn't play there, then eventually white can come and do stuff in the corner, and this is not good for black. So it will be recommended for black to just spend another move to make the corner solid. So of course white should only do that if it makes sense on the outside. So if the outside is not very important, of course white will just come back, and then black push, white extend, and then black will jump. And as you can see, the result is not very good for white because, well, actually at this point white should probably take the corner. But basically, eventually, black can still come and cut or even pincer like this, and it's gonna be hard for white to manage the cutting points on the top. So this is why Hane from the top is normally not recommended unless white doesn't want the other sequence. Like I said before, black can also extend like this, especially when there's no ladder situation, especially when the ladder situation doesn't work out for black. However, let's see how this goes. So at this point, white hanes and then black hanes, and now white can choose to, if the right side is not very important, white can just bump from the back, and now black will come up and then make a tiger's mouth shape. White takes the corner, and as you can see, this is not a very good result for black. Black stones are really low, and white takes the corner. So and white also gets pretty good top influence too. So and then if white tries to extend on the right, if there's something on the right and white wants to preserve it, and white extends, it's still not a very good result for black because this would happen. Like at this point, black should pincer on the left because this, as you can see, is not a good result for black. The corner is severely damaged, and this group still needs to live. So the good move here is pincer, and this is a pretty important technique to learn anyway. And at this point, normally if you think about it, black, white would be black is connected, right? Because if white just extends, then white is dead. But white has a very cool move, which is to push there. Now, if black just simply blocks, this move is very good for white. Black, This basically means that white is through. If black tries to block, then white will just double Atari. If, for example, if black Atari is back, white simply connects, and there's no way for black to block, and now this group is in trouble. So this move doesn't work, and at this point, really the only move for black would be just to extend like this. And now white is happy, right? Because this is white has pressed black, and even in the future, white can also just come in and cut when the timing is right. So this is not a good result for black. At least not an even result for black. So this is not a really recommended move, which means it would be better for black to come in when the latter situation works for black. The other move that black could do, which is to attach here, but this is actually pretty similar to white. The only the very similar to the previous move, because white can also do this to try to connect, and then black, of course, have to block because the intention in the beginning was to separate white's groups. If white does this, if black blocks, white can do this, and as you can see, now it's reverted back to the previous variation. So black should also only come in when the latter works. And at this point, white also has another response, which is to just extend up and to start the fight. And now there isn't really a Joseki sequence from this point on. It's just fighting. So then what's the difference between black coming in here and here? Well, black should come in here if black doesn't want to be sealed down no matter what. Like if black really wants to be out, then this will be the move to do, because as we discussed before, when black does this and white comes here, white always have the option to take the outside. So if black doesn't want the option for white, then black should come in like here. This actually happened in one of my recent games where I played here, even though it would be much better for me if I played here and prevent white from sealing me in. So there's that. So that's it for today. Let's go take a look at Lee Seto's game with Park Jang-won. So in this game, Park Jang-won is black and Lee Seto is white. And now at this point, it is black's turn, and black plays here, which is the low Chinese. And Lee Seto approached here from the outside, which is the proper, and then black responded here, and then white did the sequence that we discussed before, even though, as you can see, the ladder doesn't work for white. So this is how the game proceeded. And at this point, white, Lee Seto attacks the corner. And basically, he's leaving this hanging here. And with the fight, he will come and save that stone, sort of. So this is how the game proceeded. Like this. Oh, sorry. Not like that. Like this. And black comes down here. And then now white tries to seal black in and create an outside. I think, yeah, this is what happened. Oh wait, hold on. Right. Like that. And I think. But anyway, the point is, as you can see, this becomes sort of a point of contention for both sides to try and use this sort of agi as a thing in their fight on the right side. And at the end, the result is pretty good for both sides. Actually, at the end, it becomes a fight to capture this group, because white eventually got this point, and also and white black eventually came from the side, and they basically tried to fight and for the survival of this group. Yeah, so that was a pretty cool variation sort of on this Joseki that happened recently. Myungwon Kim Naidan did a YouTube video on the AGA YouTube channel, and he mentioned that a similar thing happened in the past, I believe also with the Low Chinese, but the variation that was played out actually was that, let's see. Right, so at this point, black takes the outside like we discussed before, and then of course white takes, and then black comes in. And even though before I said that at this point white should either connect or play the outside, that was before that was when we had the premise that the ladder works. So actually at this point, white plays this, black does this, and white does this, and that was in another professional game where a similar situation occurred. So I guess the point is that in different situations you can always try different moves, even though originally it doesn't seem like it will work. But I guess that's the same lesson for all Josekis. So that's the end of the video today, and in the next video we will we'll go to the low approach, low pincer, which is low approach. Oh wait, hold on. Let me go back. There you go. Sorry. So yeah, so starting from next video, we'll go through variations on this opening. Thank you for watching.